Tobacco control, I think I must start by saying tobacco control in Uganda has advanced quite significantly from where it used to be, particularly with the passing of the Tobacco Control Act, a very comprehensive tobacco control policy that is FCTC compliant. And this was about now 4 or 5 years ago. The challenge I see is about tobacco control governance, what I call tobacco control governance. While there is an effort in regards to the Tobacco Control Committee, which is chaired at the highest level by the Premier's office, or Prime Minister's office, there doesn't seem to be a very clear guidance on accountability and how this needs to more regularly be funded. So in terms of governance, tobacco control will require sustainable financing. And I would recommend that the committee actually considers ways of raising funding other than external funding, which can easily go dry. Options would include a levy on tobacco profits, or even volume sales, as you have in Kenya, in order to sustain the effort. The second issue is around the capacity. It will appear that people have moved on in the last 5 years. The role players of tobacco control prior to 2015. So there might be need to also do some capacity building. And then the third is around issues of pricing strategy. There's still a lot to be done when it comes to tobacco taxes and pricing. So the government should be bold enough to significantly increase tobacco taxes and not be dissuaded by the industry's tactics of screening illicit trade, which they use everywhere else. There's no evidence to suggest any relationship between tobacco pricing or tobacco product pricing and illicit trade. It's all about the enforcement of the borders. So those are the three main challenges that I see for tobacco control in Uganda and the recommendations that I've already suggested going forward.
How do you see the tobacco instrument in Uganda for the conversation?
As part of its sustainability strategy, like I said earlier on, tobacco control is not an event. It's something that has to happen continuously and well governed, because the industries will always be there to try to make sure that any progress that is made is reversed. So there is need to continue to mainstream tobacco industry monitoring as part of tobacco control. So the governance and the capacity building effort that I'm talking about should include tobacco industry monitoring and countering those interventions, in particular making sure that Article 5.3 is actually adopted by government in all sectors of government, not just the Ministry of Health.
Then finally, according to your observation, how do you celebrate Uganda's enforcing tobacco control? How do you see and how do we Uganda in terms of tobacco control? Do we see progress or compared to other countries?
No, most definitely, as demonstrated at the World Conference on Tobacco Health, the first one in Africa, that Uganda was actually identified as one of the global leaders in tobacco control, having won an award in terms of how comprehensive the legislation is. There are very few legislation that's as comprehensive as that of Uganda. So I think Uganda must pride itself as being a leader when it comes to developing an FCTC compliant Tobacco Control Act. What needs to be done, as I said earlier on, are all related to the implementation and enforcement of those.